Hello people, thank you once again. This is our lesson 11. We are looking at control structures. Last time we started the subtopic on control structures, and we stated that control structures normally determines the flow of the execution in a program. So we went ahead and looked at the first two control structures, which were the while loop, and also we looked at the for loop. And today we are going to do an example on for loop and see how we can be able to implement this in a real life situation, a situation where you want to do some calculations. You see, programming is about solving the problems that we have. Maybe you're dealing with a complex calculation, and you really want to solve it as fast as you can, so that you can be able to look at other things which demand your attention. So we are looking at control structure, and today we are looking at the for loop and how it can be implemented. Now in this, the notes that I have here, as you can see, we are calculating what we call compound interest, and there is a formula to that. And also in JavaScript there are certain functions that are already within the structure of JavaScript, and you can make use of them. So we are going to use the math power function. As you can see here, this is how the function is defined, because we normally know the formula for calculating simple interest is normally you take the principal amount times rate times time. So remember, the rate is normally a percentage, and whenever you are calculating that, it must be factored in. So the formula for compound interest is a bit complex, in that it has some power that we have to consider. So we are not learning today about maths and the compound interest, but we just want to understand how can you make use of a function to calculate a maths problem using JavaScript. And in the same breath, we are also looking at how we can be able to implement that using a loop, because the amount or the time in which this amount is being invested is 10 years. So we need to consider that and be able to work our way out to the solution of this problem. Now, as you can see, we have our HTML, then we have the head, then the head section, we have the title in there, calculating compound interest. Then we divide, or rather we define the JavaScript code there. We normally start JavaScript using this, though there is another, apart from language, there is another attribute that this script can take, which is normally type, and in that you can write type is equal, and the value will be text or JavaScript. So but the main one that must be incorporated or included is what we call the language, which is JavaScript. And so here we have some variables being declared. We have amount that is going to be used to calculate the compounded interest with the time. Then we have the principal amount that was invested and the rate, which is 0.05 per annum. That is the amount of interest that is being offered on this principal amount each year. So we have document.writeLine. So this line of code here is basically used to define a table, and the border table is the border of the table is 1. The width is 100%, so the width will cover the whole screen. Then we also have the table data, then followed by the table row. So the table row rather has got the table data within it, and within that table data tag we have the year. So the year should be bold, as you can see. So the name here will be printed bold when you render this document on a web page. And we also have the second table data, which is going to be the title of the amount deposited over time. So the second and the third lines, starting from here, from let's say line 11 all the way to 13, including 14, are basically defining the properties of a table. So we are using a table, and as you've noticed, we are having this JavaScript code on the header section. Then these other elements are going to be displayed within the body, and after defining the table element and attributes for each of those elements, as you can see, we come now to the for loop, which has got a variable year, which year 1. Then this year should be less or equals to 10, and then we have the increment variable there, increasing the value by 1 every time. Then as long as this condition is true, this particular one, the following statements are executed within the for loop. Then the for loop is started there using started here using the keyword for. Then we have the brackets where we have the variable defining the year, the end value, and also the increment of the variable as execution goes by. Then whatever is being printed or executed each time the condition within the brackets are true is what we have down here. So at the end of it all, we have to open and close our table. So here we are closing the table, then we close the script tag, then we also close the head tag, then the body is there, then finally we have our HTML file being closed there. So technically what will become of our work is this. So this is what will be displayed every time for the number of times the loop is going to be executed. So the loop is going to be executed 10 times, as you can see. So each time the amount of interest is going to be accumulated, and plowed in again so that we can have this number of increments, as you can see. So that is what is going to become of our calculation. So now let's head to our code here and try to implement that. So I'm going to delete everything from here. I'm going to delete everything from here. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to delete everything from here. Starting from here all the way to I'm going to so let me delete this work from there all the way to here. So once I've deleted that, I'm going to bring forth this portion. I don't want to repeat myself, but I just want to do my tasks over there. So I'm going to erase this one, including this commented bit of my work, so I can choose to get rid of that. Then so let's see. Okay, so here I'm going to define HTML there. So because initially I did not have that, so let me cut this code and paste it down here so that I have have a complete document. So here I'm going to define some variables. I'm going to define a few variables here. One of those variables is the principal. So we are going to have principal there. We are going to have the amount that was so the principal is going to hold the amount that was invested. So we are going to also have another variable called rate. So that one will be the rate of the compound interest charge on the amount deposited. So normally when declaring variables in JavaScript, you start with the keyword var. So you have the amount there. So we're going to have comma, then we have the principal, the principal, which we said it is 1000.00, comma, we have the rate of the interest is 0.05. then we terminate that line. So as you can see, we've been able to declare our variables on a single line. There are other ways. You can even choose to declare them like this. You have their var, then you can also choose to declare it like that. So you have your work being organized as such. So that is another way. You can choose to declare this variable on one line, or you can have each variable being declared on its own line. Now let's start with the document dot write. Then we do a table, we are going to have the table, then the table should have border. So the table border is going to be 1, so it must have some kind of border. The width of the table should be 100%, so meaning the thing will cover the whole screen. So there we have our table definition line of command or statement. So as you can see, I have some elements within the table, so I'm going to copy this and paste it down here. Now this time around, I'm going to have td table data tr rather, not td. So whenever you're creating a table, you start with the table row. So we are going to begin with the table row. So we do tr, then followed by table data. So the width of the table data should be 100, right? So I have to do this in here. I write my 100, then not 1,000, should be 100. Then I close that. I open that, and then the text that is going to come here should be bold, so I have to put B over there. Then next to that, I have to write here. Okay, so I have to close this bold thing, and also I have to close the table data as well. So then I'm going to have another line here. This one is going to capture the second part of the second column, rather the second column of my table. So the second column of my table will be not table row, but it should be table data. So I'm going to do away with that, and then here I'm going to have the amount. So this one is going to show me the amount on deposit. So should I have the, so I'm not going to have the, but I can choose to have the width of this as well. Let me just see what will happen. So but here let me be left with the table amount on deposit. Amount of deposit. This is amount on deposit charge. So I'm going to go up to the end of this part, and now close my td, close td or table data, then finally also close tr, which stands for table row. All right, so once I have that, now we come to the real thing, which is the for loop. So I'm going to have my for loop there. I'm going to have the curly brackets being defined. So I'm going to have here var here is equals to 1, then semicolon, we have here less or equals to 10, then semicolon, then we have the means of increasing this year by 1. All right, so we now go to the body, what we want executed when this when the loop is or the variable being considered, or the expression within the for loop is true. So as long as the number of years is less than 10, there are some calculations that are done. So I'm going to use my amount variable now. So I'm going to use the amount variable. We declared amount somewhere, so we're going to use it, amount. So this amount should be equal to principal principal times we have the maths power. So I hope this power is going to work here. Power, then we have the function, so we pass parameters within this function. So we have 1, 0, plus, we're going to have plus rate. Yeah, we have plus rate, so we have to do some separation there, and then a comma, and then we have the year. Okay, then we come back here. Okay, at the end of this we do a semicolon. Then right after that, I'm going to now write here. I'm going to write here that command. So this command is going to be, I'm going to have let me just erase everything here, but I'm going to be left with td. So let me remove everything else up to this point, because I'm going to start with tr, then I'm going to have td. Okay, so in here this should be tr, so I must do that. Okay, so let me get rid of this part, then have these two transferred here. Okay, then I'm going to concatenate this with I'm going to concatenate it with the year. Yeah, so I'm going to write here, there, here. Then concatenate it again. Okay, using a plus sign. Then this part I'm going to have that. Okay, all right. So after that, I'm also going to have some concatenation again, but this time around I'm going to have the math function again, math function that is going to round the values for me. So I do round function there. So round function, I'm going to have it there. So it's going to have amount. Going to have amount times 100. Okay, then we move outside this function. we do that, then we say divide by 100. Then right after that we concatenate this. We concatenate this with we're going to have TD, then we are going to have, so this actually we are closing TR right here, TD, then we also close the TR, sorry, it should be TR. Okay, so there we have our code. So let me just have this being done like that, so that we are able to see the whole line and we are able to see clearly what we've written. So as you can see, I've been able to do some concatenations here, which are very important when it comes to displaying more than 2 items or 2 things within the same document.write print function. So the next thing I'm going to do is document. So I'm going to write document dot write and there we are going to have the table. We close the table in this manner because we are displaying everything within a table. So at the end of the day, we have to close our table in this manner. So that is it. Okay, let's see whether this thing is going to work accordingly. So let's save the work and let's see what we have on our browser. Okay, let's see what we have on our browser. All right. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is the previous work we did. So as a matter of fact, we should not have it there, but then yeah, everything has changed. So let's save the work and then we start our server again and see what we have. So the thing is working, but there is something we did not do, so it is affecting our work. So let's correct that and see whether where we went wrong. So this is the place we did not open the table. All right, so we should not end this tr here. We should not end it there. Yeah, I think that is the reason why our our work is not coming out clearly, because we mess up somewhere. So this should be td, because yeah, this one displays here, this one should be the second column of the table. So let's see whether we have been able to, yeah, so that's how it should work. So this is the final answer we get. So the error was as a result of having messed up the work here, because td is table data entity. It is used to define a cell or a column in a table. So that's how the thing is. So That's how you can be able to implement for loop in JavaScript. Thank you for your time and company.